I don't want to say lots of things because I think people that come here give important clues to understand what's going on with young people. The only thing that I want to say is we have to be revolutionary optimistic. I mean, we have to be optimistic about our possibilities as an organization and as a movement. It's our duty, because if we don't do nothing, we cannot change nothing. It's a classical sentence, but it has a really important meaning for revolutionary people. I'm very happy to see here young people coming to Marxism. It's a very important thing. We need you. We need you in the political organizations, and also when we grow up. I'm 28, so maybe I'm in the line of the last. I'm 28. But when you have to work in a very difficult places, as you said, in very bad conditions. You have to be organized in work trade unions, and in Spain and in Catalonia, the system is different than here. We have revolutionary trade unions that are not in the big trade unions that are more reformism. But we have to work there, and sometimes we have to fight to be more on the left. And it's a process. It's a process. Revolution is not made in one day. This is true. And also this taking the squares is not do it in one day. We have a general strike. We have lots of demonstrations against austerity. I think it's a process. We have to understand. It's not something that will come up like that. It's a hard work, daily work, and we have to be patient and also revolutionary optimistic, or optimistic revolutionary, I never know. And that's it. I encourage you. We are very inspired about students' demonstrations, and we are very inspired on a strike of workers, the last strike. We see you as an example. We see SWP as an example, and also your strikes as an example for us. I think we have to exchange things. And thank you very much for your attention and your patience.
Yeah, just a couple of points. I mean, it's been an excellent discussion, and clearly we're very much on our way here. I just think, in terms of, it's absolutely right about being too old. I'm 48, so I should be dead really by now. In fact, I'm a ghost. But no, I mean, Lenin once said that we should, in Zurich, just before the revolution, we said two things in Zurich at that time before the revolution. He said that one, that I won't see a revolution in my lifetime, and 3 months later he did, so it wasn't that brilliant, was he, Lenin? And the other one he said was that you should leave the 30s to the over 30s to the liberals. And that was his point. And he was 38 at the time, so we thought it wasn't meant for him. But he's making a point, I think, which others have made, isn't it? It's clearly the dynamism and the energy of young people. The older you get, you can get more conservative. Well, I say can get more conservative. I'll come back to that. Or the fact that you've got your mortgages, you're worried about all these bloody things, and God knows what, it can drag you down. But of course, the things change, doesn't it? When people try to take away your mortgage, attack your kids, you find that even old people can then start to get, the pensioners at this moment in time. I mean, if you look around pensions at this moment in time in Britain, they're not hardly what I call a conservative bunch of people. I mean, they're scary. If you cracked up a bunch of AK-47 and give it to them, they would use it. I've got no doubt about that. I just think, I agree with you say. Obviously, I'm not contradicting anybody to say, but I just think have that in mind as well. I think the crucial point was what was Marie answered. I just want to say one thing about it: the point about the relationship between the unemployed and the organised working class. But this is going to be an ongoing discussion, and it always has been, and for different reasons. And sometimes it gets posed because young people don't quite understand trade unions and that's what it's all about. But of course, that can be the case. I mean, amongst the left, you always do. Amongst the old comments, use the phrase where they're Thatcher's generation. I used to really get on my nerves when people say fucking rubbish, quite frankly. What does that mean? Yeah, Thatcher's generation, they are scary because they're more radical, more revolutionary, precisely because of the shit they've been put up with. But of course, most people don't see it like this. You know, I go to trade union conferences and they say these 40-year-olds talking about how do we get young people more involved. And then about 40, they talk about this, and they say, the problem is, they're not like our generation, you see, our generation had Marx, we were born, in fact, I came out of the womb with Das Kapital in my hand. My mother read it to me, and I was being, by the umbilical cord, I was being read Das Kapital, and so I was, that's a bollocks, you know, that's rubbish. But this is what, you know, there's roasted glasses of the past, you know, it's really quite, people learn, don't they, and learn very, very quickly. Not every young person, in fact, you know, a lot of young people are in work. They're not necessarily in unions necessarily. They're in call centres or in this, and they're in work for Sainsbury's, and a lot of them are in unions as well. But it's the collective experience of being in work. Being in a union is a good thing and better thing. But it's not just about being in the union. It's about having, when you're in work, you're forced to act collectively. I might hate the swine who works next to me. It doesn't matter. It's not personal. Because actually I have to work with them to make it work, to make this whole as a process work inside that factory, inside a school or inside a hospital, whatever it is. You're forced to work collectively. That is the fundamental difference. Young people, the students, the unemployed are part of the oppressed in society. Our job is to fan the flame of every struggle for the oppressed, but as Marx clearly puts it, the working class, by liberating itself, will liberate the whole of humanity. Because the role it plays, not because they're nicer in their ideas, working class people don't, it's not because they're more, you know, egalitarian or more intelligent or more nice. They're not. You go to a pub on a Saturday night, you come out with all sorts of nonsense and filth come out of working class people's mouths, you know. And they're not the most hard done by either, by the way. I mean, just pensioners are probably the most hard done by alongside young people. So not just because they're the most hard done by or they have the best ideas, it's the role they play in society. That's all. The power they have in relation to production and pulling the plug on production. That is the key in terms of their power. And it's connecting together the dynamism, the aspiration, the determination, the heroism of the youth, the young, the oppressed, with that of the organised working class. Sometimes it's a long, long time for that giant to move, but when it does, it can move very, 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 very quickly indeed, and pull all the other societies, or pull all the other bits of society into its orbit. I think the student, the last point I'd like to raise about this, is what the young student, 14-year-old school student, who said about what it's like in school and the curriculum. I think is really important, because I got time, is Terry Wrigley's, he should have spoken, so I don't know why he didn't, but anyway, too old probably. You know, he should have said something, if not read his books about stuff, about what took place in education, and some people call it abuse, and I think the whole testing regime is not far off abuse as far as I'm concerned. But you know, you've got a generation of young people here who do more tests than any other generation and any other kid in Europe actually. Test. The kind of education is utter crap. And I say, I should know, I'm a teacher, trust me. You know. It's utter crap. You know, you do what you can to customise it, make it interesting and so on. It's not, and we know why, I mean the system controls it. You know, they constantly say it's not biased, where the education system, what we teach is not biased. Of course it's biased, utterly biased. Any teacher gets in front of any of you, lecturer says, I'm not biased, challenge him. Say, of course you're biased. Be honest with me. Don't lie. You're biased. What is your opinion, you know, about things? Any textbook is biased. They shape the ideas in that way. But I think you should challenge these things. And I think the curriculum do something. You know, I have a fantasy. Well, I'm not going to share too much. I have a fantasy. It's this. When I'm invigilating exams, which I do, I hate invigilating exams. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, fucking an hour and a half of this bloody nonsense. And I see the kid, and it's amazing, the power of exam. It's like Pavlov's dog. These hard-case kids, they come in, exam conditions, and they shout, and they walk in, they don't shout, they don't do it, it's a power. You know, I wish I could do it all the time, just think, exam conditions, oh, is it? All right, and they shut up. They march in file into this dark room, go down the stairs, further and further and further, and they get down to the stairs at the bottom, and these rows of tables, and then they take the hat, and never take the hat, you take the kid's hat and get smacked in the face. Take your hat off, sorry sir, yes. Take the jacket off, with your trousers hanging down your knees, take them off, you know, well, they sit and they sit there. I can't wait for the day. But one of them will get up one day and say, fuck this. And they do something else. And they say, fuck this. I tell you what, put the chairs together. Put the tables together. Come on, let's sit. surely, if we get together and work this out ourselves, we can answer these bloody questions. The day that happens, the revolution started.